playoff game.
Dave Cowens of the Boston Celtics is attempting to come back tonight against Houston after fouling out on Saturday afternoon. Hondo, John Havlicek, is playing in his 141st NBA playoff game. Only Chamberlain, Russell, Sam Jones, and West have played in more than Havlicek. Little Calvin Murphy is the playmaker of the Houston Rockets. He is only 5'9", but what a crowd pleaser, and he scored 71 points in 3 games. Rudy Tomjanovich, Rudy T down here in Houston. He's Johnny Egan's best shooter, and Saturday he came away with 28 points.
You see the best in basketball when you watch the NBA. When you watch the NBA on CBS.
Welcome to the Hop Pavilion at the University of Houston campus. And as you can hear, we have a capacity crowd on hand for Game 4 of an NBA series between the Boston Celtics and the Houston Rockets. Good evening, everyone. I'm Glenn Musburger, along with Oscar Robertson, and I hope you can hear us tonight. It is going to be wild down here. They go, it's the only court in the NBA with a rubberized surface. Cowens fouled out. What did Tommy Heinsohn have to say to you before the game?
Coach Heinsohn said he talked to his ball players about it, Brent. They have no complaints about it whatsoever.
Now, if we get down into a close ball game with this crowd and the noise they make, won't it help Houston a great deal?
I think so. They're used to this court much more than Boston, and I think they're ready to play this ball game tonight.
All right, Oscar, as everyone knows, this is tremendous football country, but no more. Johnny Egan and the Houston Rockets have turned it around, and you'll see him in action tonight against the world champions.
The time is now. The name of the game is action. They're on the floor and they're ready to score. So let the game begin. And let's see how the ball's gonna bounce today. Welcome to NBA. Come on and join the rest of the crowd. There's another classic about to come your way. You'll see the best in basketball when you watch the
NBA playoffs, sponsored by the new Volkswagen Rabbit. Happy days are here again. And by light beer. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
When you watch the NBA on CBS. NBA on CBS.
The Boston Celtics leading the Houston Rockets 2-1 in this Eastern Conference semifinal. The coaching matchup looks this way. For the Rockets, Johnny Egan. He's done a tremendous job in turning this franchise around. Tommy Heinsohn. Last year, he guided the Celtics to a world championship. He's stocking them again. There are the starting lineups and the key matchup. Dave Cowens and Kevin Coonard. Cowens determined to come back after fouling out in the fourth quarter of Saturday's loss to Houston. As a matter of fact, John Egan said that Cowens probably would jump up and touch the flag at the opening tip-off. The referees for tonight's game of the Hop Heights Pavilion. On the left-hand side, Don Murphy. It is his first game since his mother passed away last week. On the right-hand side, the veteran Earl Strom. The alternate, who will be watching the scorekeeper closely, is Bob Rakel. He is in the background. And we're about set to go. And, Oscar, I hope everyone can hear it with the noise the crowd is going to make down here.
So do I. Just getting a report. Dave Cowens, he was very upset about his 6th foul, Brent, and he is ready to play tonight.
Kevin Coonard, number 20, the Houston center, moves in. And here comes the big redhead, Captain Hustle, you can call him around the NBA. The Celtics will try to run. Johnny Egan says, we've got to take the break away from him. We can beat him down here. Murphy's ready to toss it up. That's controlled by Mike Newland, 14. Rudy Tomjanovich.
They got started real early, Rudy T. You know, John Egan said he's going to try to get him off to a hurry.
Here's training. Cowens is being fronted. Oh, there's a foul from, calls it on Cooner.
play number 6. The 6 going to Dave.
Here's Nelson. Flat lip on him. They go to Cowan, back out to Nelson. Nelson comes to Cheney.
Hey, that was good. Looking over on the defense to help out and move the ball, trying to move it down to Cheney, who was open. He got the right end.
All right, by a field goal. Murphy comes down on the right-hand side. Ratliff goes over to the weak side. Tom Janovich. Tries to go back to Newland.
Houston's going to try to double team a lot and get off of Cheney, but if he's hitting that shot, look out, Houston.
Murphy will take the ball out of bounds. Cheney is on him. What a size mismatch. They come out to Rudy Tate.
Oh! You see the little guy knocked that one in. He really got up in the air that time.
He likes to go to his right. Better than his left, and that's what he did. Here's Cheney back down to the left side. Here come out to Havlicek. The Rockets getting back on defense. Cowan. Murphy on the rebound.
Yeah, he's going to set it up this time. See what happens.
Mike Newland and JoJo White is on him, and Newland comes out. John Egan will slow it down. He wants 2 or 3 passes before they shoot.
Yes, he does.
Leonard holding the ball. Cowan's all over him. Leonard loses his dribble. Now goes to Newland. Havlicek runs over him.
Yeah. John Egan said before the game, if he can get his players to be patient, make 3 or 4 passes, it's really going to help them in the long run.
Next to John Egan is assistant coach Larry Siegfried. 5 times he was on a world champion with the Boston Celtics. Murphy throws it to Ratliff. Ratliff wheels to Newland. Off to the front of the rim, and down comes JoJo White for the Celtics. Again, the Rockets back very well. Not there is Rudy Tate.
Wow, he's ready. Hey, woo.
A 4-point lead as Murphy goes in the air.
In the last ball game, the guys from Boston, they put John Havlicek on him, and now they want a timeout to get this thing all straightened out.
You can hear this capacity crowd at the Hopheim Pavilion. It used to be they drew only 1,000 fans. Now they get 11,000 every time Houston goes to work.
Scirocco! Scirocco, a hot wind from the Sahara. Scirocco, a hot car from Volkswagen. As swift and powerful as the wind it's named after. Scirocco, with front-wheel drive that handles like nothing you've ever driven before. And Scirocco gets about 38 miles per gallon on the highway. Scirocco, the hot one from Volkswagen.
Lunchtime can be a real hassle. The frustration, the crowds, the waiting in line. I guess we look at lunch a little differently at my Pizza Hut. The way we figure it, a guy ought to be able to go to a nice, quiet place, relax a little, and enjoy something good to eat, like a delicious pizza, or a sandwich, or a crisp salad. All of us here at the Hut try our best to take some of the hassle out of lunch.
At Pizza Hut, our people make it better.
Don't forget, on Saturday afternoon on CBS, that challenge match between Jimmy Connors and John Newcomb. $250,000 at stake, and you'll see it 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. Here in the NBA playoffs, the Boston Celtics trailing by 6 points with 9:24 to go in the first quarter. Cheney has the basketball. Newland has him, and it goes to Havlicek. Offensive board for the Celtics. Cheney again. Kevin Cooner's battling against Collins. We got a loose ball foul. That's 2 against Cooner. Yeah, we're going to see it right there. Cooner man. Yeah, he got about all right there.
Goodman has really got off his feet again.
Egan is up, looking down at that end of the court. Here is Collins. Calvin just double teaming, playing a zone out there. Here's White. In and out. Cooner pulls down and loses it. It'll go back to Boston.
They need it there, and they're making some tough mistakes. Take advantage of it or not.
We could see Hawes early in this game in place of Cooner. He will not let Kevin get in too much foul trouble. Nelson will take it out of bounds for the Celtics. that's Strom down there. He was the inside man on that call.
And who's that foul on that time? Kevin Coonard. That's 3 on Kevin Coonard. Antithetical foul on Coonard.
So Kevin Coonard picks up 3 quick fouls, being quieted down by Murphy. Johnny Egan looking on. Hawes is getting ready to come into the game. They're going to have to cool him off. Havlicek over talking to Earl Strom. Now he comes back to shoot the technical.
Yes, he will.
Listen to this.
That's about a veteran like John Havlicek. He's been in that situation many times before.
Steve Hawes has checked in. John Havlicek will now step to the line because he was fouled by Coonard just prior to the technical. It was Hawes and Cowens who had a bit of a scuffle on Saturday afternoon. Nothing serious. And it is a 3-point Houston lead as Havlicek picks up 3 free throws.
Hey,
Here's Newland.
Newland pushed JoJo White to the canvas. The ref missed that one.
But when he came up here, he was tripped accidentally by Cheney.
Yes, he was. Here we can see that play again. He goes to the middle. He's fouled right there. But I tell you, he gave JoJo White some shot.
Wiping the moisture off this rubberized surface, that's important, isn't it, O, to keep this surface dry?
Yes, it is, because you get moisture on your shoes and the floor as well. It becomes very slippery, and the players cannot keep their footing in situations like that.
Earl Strom was warning Johnny Egan on the bench. Rudy Tomjanovich at the baseline. Cowens battling. Cowens again. Outlet to Havlicek.
Yes, here they come.
Cheney's on the lead. They go to Nelson, and Hawes knocks it out.
Yeah, Hawes got back very good that time, but the break was there, and they're really coming out with it. And Johnny Egan said he's going to try to get back and stop that break.
Cowens is open for the shot. Not there, but Cheney is. Calvin Murphy down. It's a 1-point Houston lead. Kevin Coonard on the bench for 3 fouls. Hawes is the center. Played 2 years of European basketball.
Oh, they missed him over the middle that time. Hawes was wide open.
Or he is down, and he's fouled by Cowens.
Dave's got to be careful of that. He can't get in foul trouble because the Celtics really need him. Up in Boston, he wasn't that offensive minded, but he said down here he's got to be to beat this team.
It's a 3-point Rocket lead. JoJo White comes back out to Nelson. To Cowens, Havlicek.
Yeah, they were smart and patient that time. Well, we didn't get to see the play, but Havlicek positioned himself on Calvin Murphy and switched off on him. Held position, got the ball to him for a 3-point play again.
Comes to the line. I think that foul was against Ratliff and not Murphy. Has got it. We are tied at 10. 7:53. Newland back for Houston. Newland wants to go. Oh! And he's got a chance for a three-pointer.
He started going and gets JoJo White turned around right here. And here he starts to accelerate right at this point right here, right into the basket.
Newland held up and looked behind him. He thought somebody had stopped play. Now he shoots it.
Good.
And it's a 3-point Houston lead.
Yes, it is. Good action so far.
Murphy on JoJo White. Cowens comes out. Hawes is on him. They go back to White. Newland cuts him off. White to Cowens. Ratliff to Murphy.
Coming out with it again.
Murphy. Havlicek holds it down. That's not the kind of attack that Johnny Egan wants.
No, it isn't.
Here's Havlicek. Tied up, goes to Nelson. Wheel to Cheney to Cowens.
Oh, hit the open man beautifully. They're the best at that, Brent. They move the ball ball around so well against him. This is why John Egan wants him to slow that ball down, make 3 or 4 passes, then get the offense started.
When you turn it over like Houston did in a hurry after one missed shot, the Celtics will run it right down your throat.
Yes, they
Here's
will.
Newland. Rudy T against Nelson. Not there. Cowens was fouled by Hawes
yes,
on a
he
loose
was.
ball call. So big Steve Hawes, who once played up in Washington, decided to go over to Europe to play for a couple of years, and now the backup center with Houston. He also plays a lot of forward.
And that foul puts him in a bonus. Dave will have a 1-and-1.
Chance to tie it. Cowens comes to the line. 6:58 to go in the first quarter. I expect to see Paul Silas checking into this game at any moment. Boston goes up by 1. Hagan says, wait a minute. Oh! Nothing called. Strom has got him.
What? That's
Foul called.
That was on Cheney, I think.
I thought for a moment that Strom was going to hit Egan with a technical, but he did not. He detected the foul. Murphy has come to the line.
That little guy is so fast. You got to do something to try to stop him, to slow him down a little bit.
He puts Houston ahead by a point. Murphy pressures White a bit. Now Rudy T comes out in the double team. They're going to have the check quickly to Nelson, who was left open. Knocked away. Out to Murphy. Murphy put the move on. Rudy T.
Oh, did he get it?
No basket, Murphy says.
Did he get it?
Hold on. He was called on the foul over a back underneath. Rudy T was called on an offensive foul when he went up. No basket.
Wow. And it looks like Paul Silas is going to take him to the ball game now.
Houston leading by a point, but they've got some foul problems. Coonard with 3 already. Haas with a pair. Nelson at the line and a chance to tie it again. Has that one-handed shooting style of his.
Yeah, he's a real good free throw shooter. He's been
Watch
shooting
how
that
he does this.
for years and years. John Nelson, that is a very good free throw shooter. Kane is trying to keep the ball away from Murphy. That's smart basketball. When he knows Murphy's really...
Knocked away by Cheney. Murphy dives. Loose ball. Kicked away Murphy. Then he was kicking. It'll go to Boston. Real strong protected.
You see him accelerate that time? Woo! Cheney was moving pretty good himself.
What a match that's going to be, Cheney and Murphy.
Yes, it is.
Here's Cheney. Runs into Teague. Oh, with Havlicek. Out there, and it's hard. Wow, let's watch Murphy bring it up.
I think they're going to slow it down now. John Aiken is calling play number 5. We'll see what it is.
Murphy waits for Newland to go down baseline. Nobody's open. Comes back outside to Haas. They go into Rudy T on the hook. Down comes Havlicek. Outlet to Cheney. Cowens is on the right-hand side. Cheney comes the other way to White. White back to Cheney.
Yeah. And Cheney is hitting his jumpers tonight.
It's a 3-point Celtic lead. 5:28 to go in the first quarter. Eddie Ratliff. Havlicek on him. They go to Murphy. Silas has checked in. Haas on the turnaround. Rudy T hits that board.
Yes, he does.
This time he's got it.
He got inside that time and knocked it right in. Previous time he was called for a foul. He's inside right now. Tipped it right in over Silas. And he'll get a bonus shot.
Rudy T hits it. It'll be tied at 18.
And it's tied up again.
up underhanded. Out of bounds, and it's over the cover. Down to Paul Silas. Silas to JoJo White. White back to Collins. Bad pass out of bounds.
They got good position that time. Murphy slipped off on Silas, but threw it out of bounds.
Tomjanovich is 2 of 7 so far in this game. Over to Murphy. JoJo White came out, and Murphy picked up the foul.
And Westfall's coming to the game. Now I look for them now to start posting Calvin Murphy down low with Westfall. Because he's a very good offensive player, and I'm sure they're going to try to get some knowledge out of it.
Cheney goes to the Boston bench with a score tied at 18. 4:35 to go in the first quarter, and Mike Newland comes to the line. Here's a basketball player who's going to go on to medical school. I said that's going to take a lot of years after you're done with pro basketball. He said, Brent, that's all we got is time.
He's right about that.
Mike Newland has put Houston up by 2 points. And he has scored 7 so far. Westfall goes to Collins. Collins inside to Silas. Tomjanovich is on him. They come over to Westfall. He's a tremendous shooter. Back out to Hondo Havlicek to Dave Collins. Here's Westfall again. Newland's on him. Collins. Not there. The battle. Havlicek. Newland comes up. Saves it. There's a pass to Ratliff. Here comes it is. Eddie Ratliff. No. Collins again on those boards. Westfall holds it up and goes to Hondo. Not there. Newland snaps it down for Houston. Collins is trailing him. Newland motors around.
Hey! You see that shot? Wow! Good body control by Newland that time. Put right in there, laid it in.
It is a 4-point Houston lead. Havlicek again loses control. Newland dives, gives to Tomjanovich against Westfall. Really saves.
Oh, what a shot that was! That count! You see that goal he put on that time? Hey! What a shot that was! And John Egan was the timeout.
And listen to this crowd.
They're going wild. That's a great move that time by Cootie C. Got it right in.
So we've got 3:32 left in the first quarter. It is 24-18, the Rockets lead.
Brad, a volunteer fireman needs a car that's charged. I recommend an AC Delco tune-up. AC Delco? Yeah, I use a matched set of parts, the type recommended for your car. Quality engineered AC Delco parts like Delco Remy points and condensers, and new AC spark plugs. An AC Delco tune-up should help improve your starting, and it can help you save gasoline. Charge it, Lou.
Ask for AC Delco at tune-up time. More different kinds of Inn. In more different places around the world. That's Holiday Inn.
You know, when I played ball, I really enjoyed the beer I drank after every game. Now I wash, but I still love my beer. Light beer from Miller. It tastes great, but what really counts is it's less filling. It's got less carbohydrates and a third less calories than their regular beer. Just because I play less ball now doesn't mean I have to drink less beer.
2 seconds left. To push it from the key. He shoots. Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Tomjanovich, who has scored 7 points, makes it 8. JoJo White takes it down against Calvin Murphy. Ratliff comes down on the double team. They go to the open man, Havlicek.
They can't afford to do that with this team. I know they're going to try to trap up there, but I think Boston just too smart for that, man. they get this time.
Offensive foul. It was against Newland. Now the Celtics come down with 40 seconds to go in the first.
John Egan told Murphy to let him play the referee.
5-point Houston lead. Cheney wheels it to Westfall. He's hot right now.
He sure is. And that looks like a difficult shot for him, but he makes that shot all the time.
That's an 8-point quarter since coming off the bench, and it's a 3-point Houston lead. They'll run it down. Time remaining in the first quarter. Seconds ticking away. On the shot clock, we're down to 8. Pass to Riley. Riley dribbling, up with it. Battle underneath. Bailey tipped it, won't go. Out of bounds at 3 seconds.
Yeah, it goes over to Boston.
Intercepted by Riley of Houston.
Yeah, that's it. Good quarter. A lot of good basketball.
And this crowd down here appreciates it.
Yes, they're really going crazy. Up and standing right now. Cheering for this Houston team.
We have a low ceiling, and with a rubberized court, that noise just goes up and comes right back down on top of us.
You'll see the best in basketball when you watch the NBA. When you watch the NBA on CBS.
Oh, I wonder how Betsy is coming along. Knitting the flag, Betsy?
With more light, I could do a better job.
Oh, what you need is GE's Deluxe Fluorescent.
That's much better. It's finished.
Oh, love that color. A see-through flag.
The most revolutionary thing in sight. Efficient light.
Oh, those GE bulbs. It's something to wave about.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Tony.
When you're in a mood to do something nice for yourself, consider a 75 Buick, an Electra. A car so nice. If you're getting it to someone special, well, who deserves it more than you?
And many more.
Buick, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
NBA playoffs will continue after this word from your local station. Academy Award winner Art Carney and comedian Ann Mira join Tony Orlando and Dawn tomorrow at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
The Spanish are a proud people, proud of their heritage, their sangria, their Yago sangria. Proud that more people at more parties drink more Yago than any other sangria in the world. Rich red Spanish wine, pre-mixed with the juices of Spain's magnificent citrus fruits. Yago sangria, the original, authentic party wine from Spain, made with real Spanish pride.
Channel 2, New York.
In that first quarter, Dave Cowens pulled down 4 rebounds, but for Houston, Tomjanovich scored 12 and Newland 11. For the Boston Celtics, the high point man was Havlicek. Westfall also chipped in 8 points. Westfall was 3 of 3 from the field.
I was going to say, I think it's a pleasant surprise for Boston for Cheney to score early the way he does, because I think if he's scoring for them, they're tougher, much tougher.
This is Bailey, who came off the bench. He goes to Riley. He's a substitute, too. Into Ratliff, who started and played all the way. Silas still in the game for Boston. Here's Newland.
You see that shot? He is unconscious right now. Everything he throws up is going in, no matter whether he's off balance or not.
Give him 13 points for the first quarter as the Celtics come back down on the attack. They trail it by 5. Cowens waits for Westfall. Nelson. Cheney.
And there's Cheney again.
With these 2 guards, they are keeping Calvin Murphy on the Houston bench. Newland and Bailey working in the backcourt for Johnny Egan. Over to Riley. Ratliff on the roll. Helps over the board. Cheney, who runs right into him. Let's see. Blocking. Did not have position.
No, he
Bailey
didn't.
fouled him.
That's true. You got to give the man, if his back is turned to you, a chance to make one step. I think what he should have done was grab the ball.
Take a look at the length of Cheney's arms as he releases. That's why he's such a good defensive player. Backcourt foul. He got 2 free throws. He made them. And now it is a 1-point Houston lead. Now look at Cheney work against Newland. Got to Bailey. Over to Hawes. Hawes waits for Newland. Back to Riley. Over here to Ratliff. Got inside.
Yes, he did. He seemed to do much better inside. I think when he's in college, although he did line up at guard, he played a lot of forward like that.
3 of 4 for Westfall. Bailey pulls it down.
He can really get up in there.
Newland.
Newland again.
The Rockets lead by 5. Murphy and Rudy T will check back into the game. They're sitting on the sideline. Here's Collins. Cheney back up against 2. He was fouled.
And there's the value of Don Cheney again.
It was
Guard.
Bailey.
6-6. Goes on the board. Here he is right here. He gets fouled. But he missed the shot.
An ovation for Newland. Also Ratliff, who is sitting down. Cheney will shoot. 3 quick free throws as Newland sits down next to Egan. They better keep Cheney off that free throw line, though.
I tell you, he's doing a great job with him scoring-wise on the board. Now he's back on little Calvin Murphy again.
As Murphy runs into Silas. Hold on, says Murph. There's a 3-second violation.
Yes, it was. Yeah, look, Cap, he didn't get out in time. He was bumped a little bit, bumped to the floor.
Tyson signals the play from the sideline. Nelson on a bounce to Collins. Knocked away by Riley. Collins regains it. Silent.
Yes, he does.
It's a 1-point Houston lead. 9:37 to go for the half. Houston needs a basket here. Rudy T, who's back in the game, has it stolen by Westfall. Westfall down to Cowan. Captain Hustle loses it.
Oh, I tell you.
Traveling.
You know what the fans are yelling about? Silas and laid just Bailey. He got in front of him and stopped. It's a good play. They shouldn't yell about that, really. That's a good play.
That basket has put the Celtics up by 1. Here's Rudy T. Waits for little Calvin Murphy. Blocked away by Silas. Silas to Westfall. Maneuvers around. Makes the Celtic fast break.
Yes. They better get Newland back in this ball game.
It's a 3-point Boston lead. Johnny Egan calls a timeout, and he said, listen, Collins traveled on that. You never should have permitted that basket down there. He is screaming at Murphy.
Yes, he is. You know, I think there's something wrong with Gus Bailey's lay, because that time when Westfall went down to go for that layup, Bailey couldn't get back on him in time.
Last year was a rotten year for cars. Volkswagen sales were down. Vega, down. Pinto, down. Toyota, down. Gremlin, down. Datsun, down. Capri, Opel, Mazda, down. Of these leading small cars, last year only one was up, Fiat. It was our best year, ever.
Agent Brent Whitlock talks about family insurance. You have an obligation to that individual when he buys an insurance policy from you to back up what you tell him. You're selling him a service. It's an intangible. The only way you can prove that you're worth what you say you are, or your company is as good as you say it is to be there when he needs you and provide the service that he deserves.
Like a good neighbor.
And we'll Snooker match, and then again on Sunday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time here on CBS.
You know, since Westfall's been in this game, they've started to move a little bit. And he's really good offensively.
Rudy T comes out, goes inside to Hawes on the hook. Collins and Silas were battling, and
Collins takes the ball away from Murphy. Great defensive play by Dave.
Here's Westfall. He's 4 of 6 as Riley pulls down the rebound. Alvin Murphy wants Hawes to come out a little bit medium. Hawes with the ball. Over here to Bailey. Bailey on the move. Collins off to Nelson. Newland is coming back in the game. Silas across the Westfall to Cheney. Silas pulls it down.
Yes, he does. Knocks it right in.
They must box him out.
I tell you, that guy's really tough with that offensive board, getting those rebounds and putting them back in.
Fields and Sawyer. It is a 5-point Boston lead. Rudy T. Make it 3. Alvin Murphy puts some pressure on Westfall. Cheney brings it up.
You notice how quickly some of the players from Boston get down the floor once they score. They don't. They got Calvin down low.
Knocked away and out of bounds. Westfall with a save. Picked up by Riley, who knocked it away.
I tell you, it's a good thing that ball was deflected because they had 2 guys down on one. And they missed this guy right here, number 14. When he went out of the game because he was really putting it to Boston for a while.
And Newland is back in. He has the basketball. He and Murphy are in that backcourt. Here's Calvin. Collins is out on the switch. Newland. Not this time. Westfall with a Celtic rebound.
Cheney. Yes, sir.
A 5-point Boston lead. Slowly but surely.
Yes,
the Celtics are seizing control. Kevin Coonard is going to check back in. Alvin Murphy.
That little guy, he's amazing. And they're talking about little guys in this league. You're talking about Calvin Murphy. Guys like that, he really did a good job going to the basket that time.
Cheney needs the 22nd injury timeout.
Oh, if he's hurt, I hope not, because he's really been doing a great job for them.
Goes down on a knee. Frankie Chalant, trainer, Tommy Heinsohn, the coach, are there with him. We can see this play. Maybe you can see what happened, though.
Yeah, I don't see it yet. I don't know what happened that time, but let's see. They're going to call a timeout, I believe.
Well, they went past the 20 seconds. Chalant and Cheney are walking toward the sideline. So they have to take a regular timeout. Cheney sits down along the Boston sideline. It's a 3-point Celtic lead. We've got 6:42 to go in the first half in Houston.
A poem to my Converse All-Star basketball shoes. You're the greatest. That's no jive. You're standard equipment on the B Street 5. As I fly through the air doing my famous slam dunk, I'm flying first class, and that ain't no bump. My shoes will be wearing the Converse name till they bronze my feet for the Hall of Fame. Converse All-Stars, limousines for the feet.
Converse All-Stars.
Son, could I use your car tonight?
Sure. Don't forget to put some gas in it.
Every family should have at least one diehard. Because the diehard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't.
Sold only at sea.
Well, urban renewal for you. Did you come here often?
If unique is what you seek, Colt 45 malt liquor.
Oscar, our congratulations today go to Phil Johnson of the Kansas City Omaha Kings, who was voted Coach of the Year, and also to Keith Wilkes of the Golden State Warriors, the Rookie of the Year in the NBA. Later tonight, of course, Golden State will go to work against Seattle in that sectional play on the West Coast. Here's Westfall.
Oh, I tell you, that was poor defense that time by Houston. They let him penetrate right to the basket. No one ever tried to stop it.
Newland back. Westfall cuts him off.
Not for long.
It is a three-point Boston lead.
You got to get these guys early on the Celtics situation. This is good for Newland is doing. Oh,
now Nelson.
They're very smart. They take advantage of a lot of things that you do out there that's wrong.
How do they get so many men wide open underneath the basket during the course of the game, oh?
Smart basketball players.
Here's Murphy. Over to Newland. Knocked away by...
Look at that. Good defense by Dave.
This is Westfall back to Cowan.
He blocked this out. He plays great defense and comes down and scores the basket.
It is 7 points. Boston ahead of Houston. And now it is important for Houston to answer that with a basket. They don't want to lose contact.
That was some contact, but nothing was called.
It's going to Tom Donovich. A pass. Murphy cut the other way. On the turnover, it'll be the Celtic ball.
Yes, it will.
The pressure is starting to get to the young Houston team.
I think what Houston's going to have to do in this, they got to play better defense for one and come down and set up and get some good shots.
See, if they do play better defense here. Nelson started out with wide open to front, but not that time.
No, not that time. They got to come out. They got to get a shot here. They got to come out. They got to be patient. They're just trying to all do it at once. They got to move the ball.
Flat left, blocked by Nelson. Double team, loose to the Collins.
Good basketball. It's tough to get the Celtics on the knees like that. They got to do what John Egan said they should do in the first place. They got to move the ball around 3 or 4 times and then get something.
That was an offensive call against Silas. His second. Newland will throw the ball inbound.
And Tommy Hanks doesn't like that at all.
A 9-point Boston lead. 4:40 for the half. They got to go to Tom Donovich. They got to get him some shots. Here's T. Not this time, and Collins snaps it down. Outlet to Nelson. Thompson to Silas. Here's Westfall. It's inside Newland. Rainey again.
Yeah, Cooter never tried to move that time. He just stood there and Caney took the rebound away from him.
Westfall. Not getting the rebound off to Newland. Off goes to Rudy Tomjanovich. Tries to drive on Collins. Won't go. It's Rainey at the other end.
Yes, it is. And here comes the 2-on-1 break. Oh!
Nelson.
He just threw the ball out of bounds. Westfall was wide open.
John Havlicek and JoJo White are checking back in for the Celtics. Westfall and Nelson go to the sideline. Hawes is going to come back in. Maybe they're going to put Cooner and Hawes on that same front line.
That young man, Westfall, did a great job for the Celtics. Really sparked them on. Got him going.
Flat left. Here's Cooner. There's a foul from Collins.
I think it was on, that's right, it was on Dave Collins.
His second.
Well, he's still in pretty good shape as far as the fouls go. He only has 2 fouls, and he's saying something to the referee right now about it.
I don't think he was agreeing with most right there, though.
I don't know, he never complains very much about calls against him. At least I've never seen him myself.
He's not like Oscar Robertson.
No, he's not like Oscar Robertson, you know. We had some struggling years when I played for Cincinnati. You do all you can to get some wins.
That's where you learned that, right?
Yes, sir. If I had a Dave Collins on my team, then I wouldn't have complained so much.
It's an 8-point Boston lead as Havlicek goes up and does it in Hawes. Drags him down. Back comes Murphy. Cooner and Hawes are working in the front line. Murphy loses dribble, goes over and picks it up. Here is Newland. He has scored 17 in the first half. Eddie Ratliff. Ratliff to Murphy. Goes out to Hawes. Yeah. Shot clock goes inside of 5, and Newland throws it up. He thought there was left. there. That was a bad sequence for Houston.
Yes, it
they
was.
got their offense mired down the corner. They took a bad shot, and Boston ran it right down their throat.
Well, the big guy got out of the corner too far. What he's got to do, stay inside where he belongs, and work it from there.
Here's Conard. He was bumped as he came through with his shot. Havlicek hits him. He'll come to the line with a couple of free throws.
But you know, also I must say this about Salas once he gets into the ball game. Look at the job he did on the offensive board. Kept the ball alive, tapped in. He and Westfall into the ball game. Did a great job. This is why
He did a job on those boards too.
Yes, he did.
Hey, America.
You sound excited, Chevrolet.
We are. There's a little good news to talk about. And a little bad. First, the bad news. Prices of the best-selling import have just been raised, ranging by model from just over $100 to almost $500.
What's the good news, Chevy?
Some of our new small cars have new low prices.
Yay!
Our new Monza S hatchback coupe is priced $305 less than our Monza 2 Plus 2.
Nice news, Chevy.
Our new Nova S coupe, our lowest price Nova, is priced $349 less than the base price of the recently announced limited edition compact from Chevy's nearest sales competitor.
Good old Chevy.
We wanted you to know, America, that while some car prices are going up, Chevrolet has all kinds of low prices. From Vega, the lowest priced American hatchback and station wagon, to Impala, America's lowest priced popular full-size car. That's why we say,
Chevrolet makes sense for America.
Well, next Sunday afternoon, the CBS Sports Spectacular returns to the air with a pair of national championship events from the world of water sports. One of the finest arrays of American competitors in years. Highlights the National Indoor Diving Championships of Cleveland. But the biggest aquatic event of the year to date may be the National Short Course Swimming Championships. An assault on American and world records such as the sport of competitive swimming has not seen in some time. You'll see it on the Sports Spectacular Sunday on CBS. We got someone right behind us, about 4 rows. I think he's got a duck call with him back there.
He probably has. To say something about Salas and Westfall and players like that who don't start or should be starting for other basketball teams. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the starting unit. If you know that you're going to have a certain amount of time in a basketball game, I'm sure the organization from the Celtics tries to instill this in their ball players, and they get the most out of them like that.
Conard hits 1 of 2. It's a 9-point Boston lead. 2:48 for the half. There's Paul Silas you were always talking about. Hodge has him. They go to Collins. And Cooner's on him. Hondo's wide open. They use the screen beautifully.
That's a play I bet they run for years, and it works every time because they execute right.
Alvin Murphy. Deep in the right corner. Comes back to Newland. Who passed it back. Knocked out by Shane.
Luckily that Cheney knocked the ball out of bounds because Calvin would not have seen that ball.
Houston is uncertain as Rudy Tomjanovich comes in. Cooner goes to the bench. That means Hodge comes back into the post.
Right now, Houston does not have good floor balance. When they get all over the court, you get the guards out and let them handle the ball and go from there.
Calvin on the drive. Goes down.
He got knocked down then. That should have been some call, man.
Hey, Collins been tough on the defensive board, hasn't he? Hey, JoJo White.
He's always tough.
Tomjanovich out to Newland. Calvin Murphy awaits against Havlicek or outlet. They're missing the easy one.
Yes, they are. I tell you, that time he should have gone to get hit. I think he's worried about getting hit that time. He should have missed the shot. They can't afford to make those mistakes like that. They get a chance to score. They got to score.
Must run the 3. Silas to Havlicek. They come back to Shane.
Just to tell us to take advantage of that missed shot. And I'm sure they would have watched. Dave's by himself. Oh, look at Salas. Look at Salas. He just dug it right out. He got inside of Rudy's teeth and knocked it right in.
They've got to take that position away from Silas. He'll eat you alive under that offensive
And that is exactly what he's doing right now.
He's like Wesley Unseld. Hodge to Murphy. Murphy to Newland. 1:30. Ratliff was open. Didn't take the shot. 3-second violation.
Indecision. I think it's going to get costly for them. He had a shot. He could have knocked it right in.
It's a 13-point Celtic lead, and Houston has only himself to blame. Havlicek holds the ball. Goes to Collins. Now Collins swings around. Newland on the double team. Dave comes through, and Ratliff switches it down and comes out to Newland. Houston desperately needs a
take advantage of those mistakes.
All right, Collins has got 8 rebounds so far in the first half. We're inside of a minute, and there's a foul called on Eddie Ratliff. That's his second. An 11-point Celtic lead. They have taken command in the second quarter here in the Hofheinz Pavilion. Yes, they have. They lead this Eastern Conference semifinal 2 victories to 1. They're going to be patient right here. Collins holds it up. That goes to White. Forced out by Rudy Pitt, and JoJo outside misses. Alvin Murphy. Here it comes on the dribble. Gets the Ratliff, who loses control, dives back, goes to Newman. Newman cut off by Silas. Now he gets inside, takes a shot.
He gets it in.
Now Boston can play it for one shot.
They're going to get one shot. Coach Heinsohn is up on his feet, signaling for one shot.
15 seconds for the half. It's a 9-point lead.
Calvin and JoJo White clapping hands over there.
Silas outside, not a good shot. Taken by Cheney at the buzzer.
Fouled by Calvin Murphy.
2 shots coming up for Cheney.
Hey, he's had some kind of first half, hasn't he, Brent? He's rebounded well, he's shot well, he's played good defense. And he's really got up and down the court on the break.
They're going to miss this guy next year.
I think they will, too.
He's got a post. That leads 12 to 11 at the free throw line. Cheney 6 of 6. Newman at the buzzer. Soft. JoJo White with a few words for Don Murphy as the first half comes to an end here in the Hofheinz Pavilion with the Boston Celtics leading the Houston Rockets 62 to 51. Oh, what do you think they have to do to get back in it?
Play better defense and not make so many mistakes, because you can't afford to do that against a team like the Boston Celtics.
Leads the Boston Celtics with 18 points. For Houston, well, it was Newland as they jump it to start the second half, and it is Paul Silas. Silas gives it to JoJo White, and here's Cheney. Celtics set up a play. Kunert is on Collins. Tomjanovich has Silas. Murphy trying to watch JoJo White. They go to Cheney and back over here to Silas and to Dave Collins.
Well, it didn't work for him that time. They go. Calvin was got switched off on Collins, but they didn't get anything that time.
Murphy gives it to Newland. Here's Eddie Ratliff. Goes back to Murphy. They got to move it. Here's Kunert.
Yeah. I tell you, he got into foul trouble early, Benton. Got 3 quick fouls that may have hurt Houston.
Right to the basket goes Hondo. 13 years in the NBA, and he forgot his uniform tonight. They had to send somebody back to the hotel.
Who do you think went back and got that for him?
If I was Heinsohn, I would have gone. You got to play that guy. Here's Newland. Gives it to Kunert. Battle to Havlicek, who brings it down for the Celtics. Havlicek to JoJo White at the right side. Kunert pulls down a rebound, almost traveled, intercepted. Collins back to White.
Yeah, he did throw it away.
Kunert should have gone outside on it. Here's White.
Look at that. Good basketball. I tell you that. Houston, that whole board work is breaking down now. John Egan said that a moment ago when I talked to him that they got to get more boards. They can't let situations like that happen.
It's a 13-point Celtic lead. Tomjanovich to Eddie Ratliff. Inside to Newland.
That guy's really a bright spot for this Houston team. He's played some type of ball game so far.
He's a Boston Celtic type player. Tremendous athlete. Mike Newland ready to come to the free throw line. 10:19 to go. We've just started the second half. Earl Strom wants that light. And also, he wants to change basketballs. Had a light up there at the other end that he ordered a young man to go up and turn off.
No, I think when Havlicek told him, he wants an older ball to play with, because those new balls can get very slippery sometimes once the action picked up. Now he's got the right one he wants.
John Havlicek is the same Celtic who twice this year has come on to different arena floors and said, hey, the basket is too low. They've measured it, and both times Havlicek was right.
That's those shooters for you. Oh, he missed his free throw. Dave gets a rebound.
And here's Cheney, who'll set it up for the Celtics. Havlicek has got Murphy on him to JoJo White to Silas. Silas to Cheney. White over to Hondo. Gets inside Ratliff, who came off his feet. They're both fouled.
Yes, he does. John Egan, he's going to have a timeout now to talk this thing over because that happened so many times. And each time the Celtics get the ball back, they put it back in the basket.
Oh, he's called a timeout right now. You watch Havlicek on the replay. That was the air ball. Look at this.
Yeah, breakdown.
Ford announces a no-nonsense $250 off the sticker price on not just any new car, but America's best-selling newcomer, Ford Granada. In a limited edition you can order now, specially equipped with new exterior trim, a new bench seat and vinyl door trim. Also $250 off on limited edition Granadas with options like air conditioning and power steering. Comes in 3 feature colors in 2- and 4-door models. Quantities are limited, so see your Ford dealer and order fast. Ford means value. Look close and compare.
This is an antiperspirant spray called Sure. It's different. Really. Most antiperspirant sprays go on wet and oily compared to Sure, which goes on dry. And Sure keeps you dry. Prove it under your own 2 arms. Try Sure on your left side and the spray you like best on your right side. If you're like most people, your left side will convince your right side. You'll be drier. We're sure.
Don't forget, next year is an Olympic year, and our team needs your help to send our best athletes over to Innsbruck and also to Montreal. So send a $5 contribution. That address right there, Cathedral Station, Boston, Mass. 02118. Oscar, I hope that the authorities in charge of those Olympic teams use all this money wisely that we've been raising for those teams. We need our best athletes sent over there. We need our best athletes looked after a little bit better than they were at Munich. Here's Newland. Newland comes to Calvin Murphy.
Yep.
Here's Newland.
There they go. Look at this. There goes JoJo White. Oh, that was a hard foul that time by Newland.
So he'll have 2 free throws as he comes to the line.
You know, White doesn't like that either. Right down on the arm. 2 shots. You know, with all the movement that Deuce is giving right now on the offense, I think Boston's going into like a sliding defense and switching out top, and it's really fixing up. It's got Houston all upset right now. They don't know what to do.
White hits both free throws, but he's only 1 of 10 from the field, though.
I wouldn't have thought that about JoJo White as well as he shoots the ball.
It's a 15-point Celtic lead. Tom Janovich is fouled by Silas. That's Silas's 3rd. Was the foul underneath. There's Haas, who goes to Ratliff, taken away by Silas.
They're switching very well underneath. They really are blocking it up. And they're a smart team. Now, they're going to work this ball now. They up 15 points, and they're going to make them pay now.
Silas to the basket.
See what I mean by that?
Haas almost loses it.
Yes, he does.
There's little Calvin Murphy. Like lightning out there when he takes off, oh.
Yeah, that time Cheney did a good job. He got down and kept him from going to the basket.
You got to give him a lot of room, don't you?
That guy you do.
Newland waits for somebody to break free, knocked away by White.
The good hands by the Celtics is really doing the job. Deflecting balls, stealing balls, starting that fast break. This is their game.
Houston can't reestablish that rhythm they had.
You know, on that pass in that time, Newland threw the ball against the backboard.
Sure. Turned it over when he hit the back of the backboard. Cheney brings it down against Newland. Now they go to Silas. Silas going to Cheney, knocked away. Battle, saved by Cheney, back outside to White. Comes back down to Cheney. Out there, a little Calvin Murphy.
Yes.
Look at that show.
Hey. They need a lot more of that.
Silas to Dave Cowens. Down by Rudy Tomjanovich. Here's Ratliff. Outside Havlicek fouled him, but Cheney got Murphy. And it's a back court.
Yes, it is.
That is 3 fouls on Cheney. Oh, Calvin Murphy, the guy they said was too small ever to play in the NBA, comes to the free throw line with a pair of free throws. Hit a field goal. Now if he can hit these, slowly he'll start to bring his team back into this. His mother was a tremendous softball player, Oh. Althea Gibson played with her. 72-59. We're down to 8 minutes. The third quarter.
Calvin is saying something to the official now, but I don't know what it is.
He thought there was a 5-second violation. Here's Cowens. Cowens goes to Silas. Try to set up play. Here's Havlicek. Celtics much more lethal when they run. There's the foul over there in the corner on Ratliff. Ratliff arguing with Murphy on that call. Egan and Siegfried aren't any happier from the bench.
Oh, Calvin. It's on the Cowens.
Finally pulled down by Rudy T. Out to Newman. Back to Tomjanovich, who goes over to Haas.
Knocked it in. Well, you know, talk a lot about basketball players doing a lot of things. Rudy T penetrated that time. Didn't have the shot. Got it over the Haas. Put it right in.
It's a 13-point Boston lead again.
And Cheney, they said he can shoot very well, you know. That guy, has he missed that many at all?
Played his college basketball here at the University of Houston. A strong defensive guard. And tonight he's also a scorer as Murphy puts one up against the guy.
They got to put some type of pressure on the Celtics, right? You can't let them get this far down in to start their offensive plays.
Newland hand-checking Havlicek, who gets it over to Cowens, and Newland stuck right with Havlicek, who rolled off.
Yes,
Newland, a tremendous defensive performer. White on the miss. Rudy T.
Yeah, he just simply out-jumped Paul Silas that time. Got the ball. See if they can get it going again.
Calvin Murphy. Not this time. Silas
did a good job. Got him out of there good. Boxed well.
Here's White. Over to Cheney. Ratliff out the
Here comes Will Calvin. Let's see what he's going to do this time.
Rudy T. Knocked back to Silas.
I think he should have taken a little further into the basket. He could have gone right in there, I believe.
Cheney.
Look at that. Look at that break. The break is space. If they don't have the initial fast break, they come down and get those lanes filled up. Hey, they make it go.
So they are playing like world champions here tonight in Houston, and Cheney has scored 22. Oz with a fake on Cowens and turns it around. Not going to go in. Oh, what a game Cheney's playing. Pass to Havlicek. Hondo waits for Cowens, who follows well. Cheney battling underneath, and he was fouled by Murphy.
Calvin Murphy. Calvin Murphy's done a great job offensively, but he just can't handle those big guys on the board. That Cheney has been a great thorn in their side, getting rebounds, putting them back in, hitting this jump shot, free throws. He's done it all.
And here at the Hop Heights Pavilion, the Boston Celtics have called a timeout. They still have charge of this game.
This is a good way to show you how well new Super Hold from Vitalis holds my hair in place. New Super Hold is really different. It's a pump spray, not an aerosol. In laboratory tests under windy, humid conditions, it held hair in place 3 times longer than the leading men's aerosol spray. And up here, you can see how nervous I look. I mean, how natural my hair looks.
New Vitalis Super Hold. It looks natural and holds longer.
He flies to faraway places, bringing last week's letters, yesterday's newspapers, and memories of home. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller Beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
Did you ever go one-on-one against Tex Harrison?
No, I saw Tex Harrison play when I was still in college, years ago.
All right, and don't forget, on Saturday afternoon, that tennis showdown between Jimmy Connors and John Newcomb, $250,000 on the line, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right after an NBA playoff game here on CBS. Oh, we've been talking about Cheney. He has scored 22 points. He has pulled down 10 rebounds, and he's turned in his usual outstanding job on defense. He is delighting these hometown folks.
There's no doubt about that. You know, as I said, I think he's a deceptive type ball player. He doesn't look that fast, but he gets down there. He's around the board. He's very steady and very fundamental. I think that's the type of ball player the Celtics try to pick to play on their teams.
Don Cheney almost went to Loyola of Chicago, but he decided to go to Houston. He was one of the first black athletes ever to play down here. And he said that the pressure was not as great as you might imagine. He said the folks around the campus and in the city of Houston helped out a great deal. And, of course, his teammate was the great Elvin Hayes, whom you watched Friday and Sunday on CBS, playing for the Washington Bullets. Back comes Houston on the attack. JoJo White and Newland trying to set up a play. It's 78-63, 5:05 for the third quarter.
Yeah. Offensive foul on Calvin Murphy. That time, I guess he got caught, but they're taking too long to get into that pattern. They're dribbling the ball too much. They got to get some movement. The Celtics right now playing very good defensively, overplaying. They got to change the offense a little bit. They got to make some things happen. They're standing around too much.
Silas not standing around. Oz pulls down a rebound. They go to Murphy.
Yes, they do. Here they come. Here come the Celtics.
JoJo White. Dave Cowens with a beautiful pass to
Yes,
Hondo.
sir. Guys standing around, they got to pick the man up when you play against the Celtics. That time, you know, they passed the ball around 2 or 3 times and found Havlicek underneath.
All right, now what about this offense as they come on the attack? Oh, what should they be doing here?
Now, they're getting it going now. That's what they got. They got to get it hit in and get some movement. Good movement.
Is that a good shot?
Perfect.
It went in.
Like those. I'm sure that Johnny Egan likes that, too. Yeah, you know, if it goes in, it's a good shot.
Cheney cut off by Newland. They go to Havlicek. Back to Cowan. Watch this ball movement.
There again. They got a cross pattern by the Celtics. Cheney and White cross. Cheney's open. Ball on Cheney, scores.
Should they be trying to get Murphy to penetrate as much as possible in this situation, or take those shots outside the perimeter?
I don't make any difference what they're doing. Right. It's true. I think right now what the Celtics are trying to do, they're just matching them with points right now. If they keep on going this way, Celtics are going to win. The Rockets are going to have to do something. They got to come out and pressure to get this thing turned around, if they can.
Defense and rebounding.
Here comes the play.
Silas, Rudy T cuts him off. Here's Cowens.
Simple plays like that. Silas tries to penetrate. Hall steps back in to help out. And the big redhead knocks another one in.
84-67 with 3:05 left in the third quarter at the Hofheinz Pavilion.
See what I mean?
Oh, look at Newland.
That's a good example of frustration right there.
Backcourt foul when he grabbed Cheney.
You know, look at this play right here. Cheney's all over the top of Radliff, and I think you got to have a situation. Anytime you overplay like that, you got to go backdoor a little bit. But so far, the Rockets have failed to do so.
Cheney must have thought he was in a football game. Give him 27 points for this game. What a shooting performance he's turning in.
Out of sight.
He's 10 for 10 from the free throw line. 2:50 to go for the quarter. Riley, who has checked in. Havlicek watching him. Here's Newland. The Rockets have shot very well the last couple of minutes.
Brent, as John Egan said, when they are patient, they move the ball around 2 or 3 times and get their offense set up right. They're playing very well.
But they can't get a streak because the Celtics keep answering them. But Strom caught the foul. Ratliff hitting Cheney.
You know, a situation like that, where Cheney had the outside from the start. As soon as he got the ball here near the half-court line, he had the outside. I think the Houston should have talked a little bit on the defense so that situation occurred like that.
Got a timeout called by Tommy Heinsohn, who is welcoming the Boston Celtics back to their bench.
Watch as this Toro Guardian with its unique high-torque engine tries to outcut 3 leading competitors under conditions not usually encountered, up to 10 inches of lush grass. Look, 2 mowers have stalled. Now the other, but Toro keeps on cutting. One reason, the powerful high-torque engine. It's just one of many engineering features that make this Toro a Toro. Haven't you done without a Toro long enough?
You know, you have a nice head of protein there. You notice how I call hair protein? Hair is practically all protein. The beating hair takes, it can lose protein. That can make it look dull and lifeless. This is a greaseless hair groom. It's called Menin Protein 29 because it's got protein in it. Protein that actually gets absorbed into the hair. Yeah, right into the hair. Menin Protein 29 helps your hair look thicker, fuller, really healthy.
Protein 29. It's available in spray, gel, and liquid.
Today, truck buyers are looking for real value more than ever. And for 7 years, more buyers have found it in Ford than any other truck. Let's talk pickups. Ford's low price includes extra features some others charge extra for. And economy. In EPA highway tests, Ford's 306 averaged 20 miles per gallon. And then there's Ford's proven durability record. 9 out of 10 Ford trucks built since 1963 are still on the job. Ford means value, and your Ford dealer can show you.
Don Cheney, 9 of 14 from the field, 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 28 points. And Earl Strom is about to hand him the basketball back door there from Earl. There you go.
Oh, that's his first miss, I think.
Regains his touch.
We'll see what the Rockets can get going now.
There's Newland on the drive. Not there. Had daylight. Just wasn't a good shot.
Here comes the Celtics break.
Cheney was flying, and Newland on the intercept goes out of bounds and slams against that retaining wall.
And he hit one of the cheerleaders over there, I believe.
I think he got his tennis shoes up in time. I hope she wasn't hit.
Hey, they got to move those photographers over there, I believe, because he's been right on the top of those guys.
Doing all right, yeah, she's all right. She's smiling. She wanted to ask for an autograph. Come back here. Mike Newland's a bachelor. Don't leave me. Paul Westphal with the ball for the Celtics. Out to Dave Cowens. Rudy T draws the foul from Silas.
Yes, he does. There, he pushed him back right there.
That's 4 fouls on Silas. Nelson will check back into the game, and Silas will take a break. Here's Hodge with the ball. Look at Cowens on him. Pass to Riley. Cowens moves in a rebound.
That's true. I tell you, when they go inside, the Celtics are just too tough for him inside.
There's Paul Westphal, who's back. He shot very well in the early going. Battle underneath. Knocked away by Riley. Here comes Newland.
Yeah, they got a 3-on-2 situation.
Newland goes to Haas. Haas loses control, but he was fouled by Westphal.
I think he's fouled by Westphal that time. Yeah, what Salas here, he goes up, he battles right here. Gets it again. Blocked by Ron Riley. Good offensive rebounded again by Salas, even though the shot was blocked. Kept it in play.
Haas gives the basketball to Earl Strom to dry off a little bit, and that gives Calvin Murphy time to get down there to the scorer's table and check into the basketball game, and Newland goes out. Hits both his free throws. Don Nelson to come back into the game. Throws the ball to Westfall. Brings it down, and the Celtics will set up a play.
And now
Ratliff is in the backcourt.
Yes, he is. Maybe that'll help them a little bit. No, I don't think anything's going to help right now. The Celtics, they just got it going now.
Actually, Ratliff has played much better this year since Johnny Egan put him up at the wing.
This is true. He's very pleased with the way it's worked out for them. The City's played very well on the defense. And everything is good, except for the way they're playing this game.
Here's Haas to Ratliff. This shot really kicked.
Oh, and he just really went all over the top of Nelson.
And Heinsohn wanted to foul. He's up. Lead pass to Nelson.
Good form in the back. That always helps.
Hondo.
Well, they're picking them apart right now. You know, they're trying to making them turn around on the defense.
We come down to 45 seconds. Haas rolls, loses it, gets it back, hooks on Cowan.
Yes, he does.
Long pass to Westfall. Murphy knocks it out of bounds.
Good defense that time, but Lou Calvin knocked that ball out of bounds. But you see, even though they got a big lead, the Celtics don't sit on anything like that. They try to still go pressure, go at you, get more.
They were very disappointed with their performance Saturday afternoon. Hold on. Murphy says, now, wait a minute. He's got to have a little room to maneuver out here on this pass. He's telling Riley. The crowd's telling Murphy, come on. JoJo trying to break, can't get free. They go to Havlicek.
Yes, they do.
Havlicek from the corner. Riley with the rebound for Houston. Here comes Calvin Murphy. Now he'll slow it up and try to set up the play.
You know, that's not a... They get one shot here. They're only 19 seconds.
Murphy holds it up. Goes to Rudy T. He maneuvers on Havlicek. Gets inside.
Yes, he gets it there. Here comes John Havlicek with it.
They've got 5 seconds. Westfall gets away from Ratliff. Goes back to Nelson. They've always got somebody open.
Yes, sir.
Do they create open men with the Boston Celtics when they're playing well?
Oh, they're tough, I tell you. That guy Westfall penetrates so well with the basketball.
They were so patient, They had 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Penetrated, Nelson came free, passed it to him, and he hits it so effortlessly.
You'll see the best in basketball when you watch the NBA. When you watch the NBA on CBS.
I guess I'm just crazy about cars. I've been hanging around them for years. And with all the punishment they have to take, a helpful hint couldn't hurt. STP, oil treatment for your car. You add it to the crankcase when your oil is changed and the first time your oil is down. STP helps protect your engine from friction and wear better than oil without STP. Take it from a girl who knows. STP, it helps your oil do a better job.
The IBM Copier 2. Because sharp, clean copies are no longer enough. Today, workflow is critical. So a copier must be fast and versatile, and most of all, affordable. That's why the IBM Copier 2 has a price ceiling plan that puts a limit on your copier costs, no matter how many copies you make. And aren't you ready for that?
NBA playoffs, Boston at Houston, will continue after this word from your local station. A campaign of vengeance against a former police comrade draws Cannon into danger tomorrow night at 9, 8 Central on CBS.
Eric is back.
New Eric Tips, a long, daring shape, a big, bold taste in a tip cigar. Smoking satisfaction that's been a long time coming. Discover new Eric Tips, the most interesting idea since the blonde. Eric Tips, natural, menthol, or cherry flavor. Bold new companion to famous regular size Eric.
Channel 2, New York.
Set to start the final 12 minutes here at the Hoff Heights Pavilion. Johnny Egan got into an argument with referee Don Murphy. Murphy said, go back over there and sit down or I'll hit you with a tee. So Egan went back.
No, he didn't at all. Hey, Don Cheney, 29 points. Havlicek, 16. Collins, 14. Westfall, 12. Dallas, 10. And the crowd is really standing up and cheering crazily.
A standing ovation for the Houston Rockets, who trailed 93-77. The crowd still behind them for the year they've had down here. Let's see if they can inspire this team. Westfall intercepted. Here we go. Oh, look at Evelyn. And it counts. He's going to count that time. Continuation. Yes, it is. Hondo was carrying Riley.
Hey, that was a good play that time. That Riley kept right on going. A lot of players would have stopped in this situation. He's grabbed by Havlicek. He lays it up and it goes in.
So it's a continuation, one of the longest I've seen this year. No three-point. Riley driving in.
Loose ball foul.
Loose ball foul. Over anxious. You know, that Dave Cowens has had some ball game. 18 rebounds, 14 points.
You know, I tell you right now, they ought to stop this game, Brett, because people are throwing golf balls on the court.
Golf balls?
Yes.
Knocked out by Turner. Hey, listen, get a chair ready, will you? I've been involved in a few brawls and some fights. They start throwing things. There's Westfall. Knocked away.
Wesley caught Havlicek on the basket. Tried to get him the ball, but it was knocked out of bounds by the Rockets. Good looking anyway.
Westfall holding the ball for the Celtics. Gives to Havlicek.
Hey, the Houston's in a zone situation now.
Back to Westfall. Westfall gets inside. Pass the Collins out of bounds.
Yes, it is.
Cheney is coming back. Murphy. Howard to the big rebound.
Oh, here comes the break.
Westfall.
Got it in. There's a body control on Westfall that time.
That took the air right out of the crowd. They all sat out.
Yes, they did.
There's Murphy. It goes to the corner side. Bounce pass to Kevin. Has to come back out to Calvin. Boy, they trapped over there. Coonard finally out of the
Well, those 3 quick fouls really hurt his play. He's been out of the ball game. He hasn't been able to play.
Nelson to Howard.
Look at that big basketball play that time. Good movement.
Coonard didn't find him. That's 16 points for the big redhead. Newland sets up the play. 97-81. The crowd still urging the Rockets on. Newland collided there, coming through the key. Foul call on Westfall. Cheney's back in.
Yes, he is. Big redhead goes up, gets the pass right there, dunks it right in. Really got up good.
4 fouls on Westfall, who goes over and sits down next to John Killalay. Tommy Heitz's assistant. Rudy T fires. Not there. JoJo White with a rebound.
There goes Cheney. There goes Havlicek.
Come to Collins. Put it on him. They wait for Cheney. Now it's Nelson. Nelson moves to the left. Back to Havlicek. Bad pass. Riley on intercept. Here's Rudy. Jonovich muscles Nelson. Doesn't hit it. And Cheney rebounds in. Collins head. Murphy. And it's Rudy T. rebound.
There gets it in.
They hit the back of Collins' head with a pass.
That's true.
Here's Don Nelson. Beautiful. Knocked away by Riley. Taken away. Houston trying to put something together. Here's Nolan on the move. Back to Riley. Can he hit it? up there. Pulled down by Collins. Another big rebound. Heinzen wants a timeout.
Yes, he does.
He said, let's stop this right here.
You watch that play again. Rudy T goes up for a shot. Good defense that time by Nelson. Chaney gets it.
Oh,
that in the back of the head. Will Calvin goes, hey, that's good action. It was sort of spontaneous, but Rudy T saved that with it and got it in.
9:26 for the game.
Hey, Detroit, how about a special offer for guys who need big cars?
Ford presents a new limited edition Ford that's sticker priced at least $332 less than full-size Fords have been. It comes with automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, steel-belted radials, and more. There's also a lower-price limited edition of America's favorite full-size wagon. But quantities are limited, so order now for best selection. Ford means value. See your local Ford dealer. Look close and compare.
You get that holiday feeling, that Holiday Inn. A take it easy feeling the minute you walk in. Get that holiday feeling, that Holiday Inn. Traveling for work or play. When you're looking for a holiday, you'll find it in our name. Get that holiday feeling, that Holiday Inn.
Oscar, hard telling where we will be this coming weekend, but we're going to have 2 playoff games for you. One on Saturday and one on Sunday. What action we've had so far in the games that we've taken a look at. These playoffs have really been something. We'll have 2 more games coming up on CBS over the weekend.
Yeah, right now we have 9:26 to go in this game. And
well, I'll tell you, these fans down here are not jaded.
No, they're not. They're really up on their feet. They're trying to urge their team on.
I wonder if Collins got a couple of aspirin during that timeout.
Oh, he's tough. He doesn't need any aspirin. But right now, the Celtics have their starting unit back in the ball game.
And we got a whistle offense.
You know, I tell you, now there's a call. I'm sure Coach Heinzen is up right now. He's worried about. There's not any real contact, you know. There's no real contact. He starts to fake and act.
No real contact. Back comes Newland. Hey, I don't want to get involved with you when there's real contact.
No, I think that's the situation. A lot of ball players act out the situation and get tough. But yet and still, I think it's up to the official to make it. It's a judgment call. But a lot of players, as soon as they get bumped, they fall out like they're dead.
Let's hold on here. Murphy was talking to Johnny Egan, explaining the call. 97-85. Heinzen was up. And all straightened away. Chaney brings it down. Here's that chant of defense. White goes to Havlicek. Over to Chaney. Not this time. Haas retrieves it. Here's Murphy.
Here Calvin gets it. It's back to 10 points now.
It's a 10-point game. And Houston's on the move. JoJo White with the ball. He's double-teamed. He comes to Chaney. They're leaving him open. He's going cold. Collins on the offensive board.
He gets it in. He didn't box him out that time. That guy's tough. He must have about, I don't know, how many rebounds now?
He's going to be up around 20 rebounds,
He's up on the board. He said he was mad about that last game when he fouled out.
Exactly 20. It's 99-87, 8:15. Kunert. He didn't have good control of the ball.
No, he didn't.
Bad shot. Here comes White. White goes to John Nelson. Haas is there. They bounce to Hondo. Oh! Coming out of pipeline all along.
That's doing that fast break. But those wingmen don't get the ball. They cross underneath the basket and come out the other side. And invariably, they always lose that defensive man doing that. And John got open in the corner and knocked it right in.
There's Johnny Egan talking to the Houston Rockets. Oh, they pulled back to within 10, and then suddenly back came the Celtics. With 2 quick hoops, we've got 8:03 for the game.
Une très bonne table pour 2, monsieur.
Bon. Les escargots. Bon.
They think you're French,
Must be the shirt.
but you speak a language.
Bon is the only word I know.
Oh.
It's easy to be mistaken for a Frenchman in a brigade shirt from Arrow. Slim, trim, very European.
Votre siège est sur mon pied, monsieur. Ah, bon.
Brigade from Arrow. No wonder American men look so good.
Announcing not just a sale, but a way to get a special price on America's best sellers. A bestsellers sale at your Ford dealer. Get a special price on a specially equipped Mustang II, America's best-selling small luxury car. On Maverick, traditionally America's best-selling four-door compact. Or choose Pinto, America's top-selling small economy car. Your Ford dealer has been given a special incentive to give you a good buy on America's best-selling lowest price lineup. Ford means value. See your local Ford dealer. Look close and compare.
Press the button of Polaroid's SX70 land camera, and it won't let you stop. Move in, closer than almost any other camera will let you get without a special lens. You watch your pictures come to life, developing in minutes before your eyes. Before you know it, you're taking pictures as fast as you can focus. Get hold of an SX70. It won't let you stop.
A capacity crowd at the Hawkeyes Pavilion, and not about to quit on these Houston Rockets. No one is left either. Riley gives it back to Newland. Havlicek checks with him. Newland comes inside. We'll see what kind of pressure they put on,
I don't know what kind of pressure they're going to put on, but they got to do something. They got to go. Every time they get that basketball, they got to do exactly what Newland did. Go to the basket with it.
Owens loses it out of bounds. They've turned it over.
Yes, they do. We'll see if they go to the basket again, because they can't beat this team shooting jump shots.
They can pull to within 10. Newland has scored 27. Tomjanovich 22. Oz.
Whoa. Coach Heinsohn is calling play number 6 now. We should go into the redhead.
Havlicek. They can't get into him. Now it's White. Now it's Cheney. Battle for a loose ball. Calvin Murphy's got it.
Yes,
they can pull it within 8 points. Calvin Murphy. Not there. Cooner with a board. Hold on. Loose ball foul. No basket. Egan can't believe it.
Everything is on the floor right now.
Everybody duck. Here come the ice cube. They're throwing program. We've got a bad situation.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate. Things like this have to happen.
Got to get off that floor. We've got stuff. We've got shoes. Earl Strom down there.
Yeah,
Look out now. Everybody get down.
Look, Britt.
Hold on. Calvin Murphy's trying to stop the crowd. Tommy Heinsohn walking off. Here come the kids. They're picking shoes up off this floor out here.
You see this play again?
This is the play that triggered it.
Yes, it is. Calvin goes up and shoots a shot. Well, I tell you, Brent, I didn't see a foul either.
It was a close call on Kevin Cunard. And he went up.
Hey, I tell you,
what about this? Did they call a foul here a little bit earlier?
No, they didn't call a foul there. He should have.
Was there a foul in that situation?
That time, I think Cunard fouled Calvin, pushing in that situation. But when he went on that last play and got the rebound, I don't think he touched anybody. But I tell you, Coach Heinsohn should take his players off the floor, such as Johnny Egan, because someone could get hurt right now. I think it's unfortunate for things like this to happen. Coach Johnny Egan's up. He's worried about this situation. Stuff is all over the floor.
Well, it's been brewing down here. They've been unhappy with the officials ever since the start of the game when Kevin Cunard picked up 3 quick fouls. Johnny Egan yelling at them. There's some class out on the floor. We've got some youngsters down here to my right. They're trying to clean it up. The Celtics calmly standing along their bench.
Yeah, they're going to take time out and sweep the internal floor now, because if there's glass on that rubber, it might cut into it. Someone could fall in and get cut up a little bit.
I don't know what kind of an idiot would throw a glass on a basketball floor, no matter how much you disagree with the referee.
Well, a lot of people were throwing, I tell you.
Ridiculous. Murphy and Earl Strom supervising the cleanup committee here at the Hawkeyes Pavilion. 101-91. That basket was a big one for Houston. It would have pulled Johnny Egan's team to within 8 points.
Yes, it would have.
There There is an early score from that Golden State-Seattle game. Oh, my. Al Hallows has got him off and tearing.
And Coach Heinsohn is right. He's right. I won't let my players back on the court now. There's still too much debris out there.
You bet. Somebody fall and
he's right.
Cut a hand or something, and knock him out of the playoffs.
True.
Not worth that.
He's absolutely correct in what he's doing right now.
You know, we look back on this ball game, the turning point was when the Celtics outscored Houston 32-18 in the second quarter.
That's true.
That's when they took charge.
They really did, and they haven't stopped. But I think right now they sweep this whole floor up on this other end of the court as well, because I still see a few things myself.
There's some glass out near the center jump area right in front of us.
Yes, there is.
See some of the debris down on the floor.
We can get somebody's attention. Maybe we can tell them about it. Well, they're going to start it anyway. But
I'll tell you what, there's a guy going home with sore feet. There were 2 shoes came out on the floor. They go to trap White. Don't steal it. Havlicek back to Collins.
Yeah.
Cross court to Nelson. 10-point Boston lead. Nelson. Battle underneath it. It goes in.
Yes, it does.
Now it's Newland. Newland holds up the ball. 6:43 left in this basketball game. Kevin Coonard. This time he's fouled, and it's Dave Collins.
And Paul Collins doesn't like that call.
We've got 3 team fouls against the Celtics and 2 against Houston. And 3 against Collins for the game. Coonard will have a pair of free throws. Takes the ball from Don Murphy. Can pull the Rockets to within 9 if he can hit this one. Misses them both. Hold it. Foul call, loose ball.
I think that call's on Newland.
Here comes the debris again. It might have been on Haas. It was Haas.
No, I don't know if it was or not, Brent.
Oh, was it Newland on the
other side? I think it was on Newland. It was on Newland then.
There's some money. Here comes the debris back down on the floor. Heinsohn saying, look, they got me right in the back of the head. Let's call a halt to this. Havlicek goes over to JoJo White. It was on Newland, though. You were right, and that's his 4th. Here is Nelson hit by Coonard. No whistle. Back comes Newland for the Rockets. Newland up with a shot. Taken out by JoJo White. 103-91. 6:15 for the ball game. JoJo comes cross court now to Donnie Nelson. Nelson holds up and it's Collins. Over to Havlicek. He's all alone there right in front of him.
He measured that one, didn't he? Took his time and knocked it right in.
Now it's a 14-point Celtic lead. Murphy wants to drive for the hoop. There's a whistle.
Who's that on? Havlicek?
Must have been on Havlicek. Murphy trying to get around Hondo on the replay, and Hondo got him.
You know, Havlicek is in the backcourt now, guarding Calvin Murphy. He's really versatile, that guy.
He measures and hits both of them. 105-93. A 12-point Boston lead. Back to White. They come to Paul Silas. Silas goes to Collins. They are lethal when the heat's on. Timeout is called by Johnny Egan. He wants to regroup here with 5 minutes and 50 seconds left for the ball game. Rudy Tomjanovich is going to check back into this basketball game. He stood up over there along the sideline. Oh, Egan and Larry Siegfried will try to draw this game together.
That's true. Houston's trying to trap. They're trying to pressure in the backcourt. They're trying to trap guys once they come off the 10-second line. It's not doing any good. The Celtics are taking their time. They're patient. Getting the ball to open man. They measure those baskets and put them right in.
You can see one of the ball boys was still out there trying to clean up the floor. On the other end, also a couple of cleanup youngsters. Well, they've got Calvin Murphy and they've got Tomjanovich and they've got Newland tonight too. Oh, as shooters.
Yes, they have.
Running rebound. Let's get the ball out.
No, they got to try to hear them, see what they're going to say right now.
Now, Murph, this time here, instead of putting, Ron, Eddie, you're on front. Baseline. I'm not overplaying the pass. I'm letting the pass go right. But it goes up now. Now, Murph. Eddie, you 3 guys. Look, I don't want to be around right at half court. Face up. Face up like you first. You keep fucking around this side.
Oh, Egan and Siegfried are finished. The Rockets come out. Ratliff, Kunert, Murphy, Tomjanovich, and Newland against Havlicek, White, Silas, Nelson, and Cowens. And these Rockets are going to get a standing ovation here from this crowd again. Well, that crowd's got to be worn out.
Yes, and this is a good situation right here. They got Havlicek guarding Calvin Murphy.
Knocked away, but right back to Tomjanovich, who goes to Calvin. Calvin on the maneuver.
Oh, see that little guy get through that hole? How did he do it?
Took a map, and he went into the Redwood Forest and came away with a hoop. Here's JoJo White for the Celtics. Goes to Silas. Oh, Houston, pressure defense right now. They're running to the basketball. Nelson to Silas. Everybody's on the ball. Here's Havlicek. They converge and they intercept. Ratliff to Newland. It's a 2-on-1. Newland's going for the hoop. Can't hit it. Calvin can't follow. Calvin's back to Nelson.
They needed that hoop bad.
Now he goes over to Paul Silas. We're down just inside of 5 minutes left for the ball game. Here's Nelson. Celtics going to set up a play. JoJo White. See if they get an open man. It's Hondo. Not this time. Ratliff for the rebound. Here comes Murphy on the move. Little guy's done it again. He gets it. That's 24 points for Calvin Murphy, and he's got a free throw coming.
Here he goes, starts right here. He starts on his move. He looks around, sees where the other players are. Foul right there by Nelson.
Calvin Murphy can pull Houston to within 9 points. We've got 4:42 for the game.
And he does. And the Celtics want a timeout.
Listen to this crowd in the Hawkeye Pavilion. I'll tell you what, I think the crowd is as responsible for the resurgence of this basketball team this year as anything else. You get in a situation like this, and you just get caught up in the flow, and that's worth several field goals down the stretch. These folks didn't quit, and it looked like the Celtics might blow it wide open. And listen to them now. They're still chatting. They're on their feet down here in Houston.
Yes, they are. This is true, Vince. They got up there, started cheers, standing ovation. They tried to motivate their players on, and they got a little something started here.
Well, they gave up on their baseball team already. They lost to San Diego last night. They figure they're not going to beat the Dodgers or the Reds. Basketball team's got a shot against the Celtics.
I think it was Mrs. Ray Patterson there.
Ray Patterson, the general manager of the Houston Rockets, who was the general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks when the Bucks acquired a guard by the name of Oscar Robertson, who teamed up with one Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to bring that franchise a world championship. So you and Mr. Patterson are old friends. Hey, there's my friend.
Who is that now?
They lock him up right after the game and throw away the key. In the fourth quarter, Houston has outscored Boston 23-14. Murphy has scored 25 and Newland 27 for the game.
And they're applying the pressure right now. It's not real tough pressure. They're going to try to stay with, see what they can get going.
All right, it's a 9-point Celtic lead. Watch Havlicek into Silas, over to Cowens.
2 points.
Now it's an 11-point lead. Houston brings the pressure. It is Newland right back on top to Calvin Murphy. Calvin Murphy inside. No whistle. He's got it again. How'd the guy get a hold of it? Jump ball.
They call it jump ball.
Here comes the debris again.
Here we go again. Well, he gets his own rebound. They got a jump ball. I couldn't see it very well over there, but jump ball is what we're going to have.
I'll tell you, that guy can get off the floor.
He almost got that tip.
All right, here's Nelson going over to Silas. And JoJo White. JoJo, let's save. Havlicek gets it away from Ratliff. Taken away by Murphy. And Murphy to make it a 9-point game.
The little guy, he's motivated, got up in there real well that time and laid it in.
We've got 3:50 to go. Boston leads by 9 points. Havlicek brings it down. Working in the backcourt with JoJo White. White to Nelson, who hits Silas. Back to Nelson, who's all alone. Defensive mistake.
Yes, that's true. They got to cover that situation. When these passes fall out to the corner, they gotta cover back in the middle.
Tomjanovich has been taken out of the game pretty effectively by Silas lately. Here's Ratliff outside. Misses. Havlicek got Nelson open. Murphy moved into it.
I think it's a 2-shot foul this time on Calvin.
Backcourt foul.
That's backcourt foul.
Calvin Murphy doesn't realize it, but he took away a cheap hoop. Celtics had the break all
Yes, they did. The guy was wide open down the other end of the court.
Mike! 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 Mike!
Ray Siegfried is yelling.
You take Murph. You take a wing.
They're switching. They want Newland to go to the point because Murphy's in foul trouble.
Yes, he is.
That's what Siegfried announced.
All right, I can do it.
Murphy's over telling him, I'm all right. Now Murphy says, I got the point. Murphy says, I'll play it with 5 fouls. It's 113 to 100. We're down to 320. Here's Newland. Newland goes to Rudy T, who's in the air. Coonard sit on top of Cowens.
Yeah, got him in the back. Dave did a good job boxing that time, and Coonard pushed him in the back.
That's Coonard's 5th foul. Both teams have 5 on the team side, so they're both in the penalty situation here for the final 3:16. Celtics with a 13-point lead.
That's one of their few misses tonight, you know.
If he can hit this, he'll have 23 for the game. Newland hits Calvin Murphy over on the right side. Havlicek has him, and Murphy gets it in. It's a 12-point Boston lead. 3:05 to go in this game. Here is Paul Silas. Waits for White. Havlicek rotates back outside. Newland has him, but there's a whistle underneath. There's a foul that's away from the ball.
Well, I think he called a 3-second zone situation on him. He said a man was stationed in his lane 3 seconds. He wasn't guarding anyone, so they call a 3-second zone violation. Just a warning, I'm
you
sure.
Can't call timeout. That's my timeout. It's green.
Hold on. Earl Strong says you can't have the timeout. That's an official timeout.
Yes.
He's got to bring him back, and he's right. They were going to take the teams over to the sideline and get an extra timeout. Strom was warning. Now, the next time, they should have technical free throw, right?
Yes, they will.
Zone?
Yes, they will.
Cowens is all alone.
Yes, he gets it in. Now they can call a timeout if they want to.
Rudy T thinks they've called it. Murphy's going to work.
Oh, he gets it right in. They tried to get a timeout, but the little Calvin didn't see it.
Rudy T was on the attack, or I should say trying to get the timeout. It was Murphy on the attack. Havlicek comes free to Silas. 2:30 for the ball game. 116 to 104. Cowens back to Nelson. Havlicek. Nelson has it stolen on the Ratliff. That's an easy one.
Yes, it is. Good. Well, it's back to 10 points now. 2:15, 2:17, 2:16 now.
Calvin Murphy has poured in 31 points. So Cowens again. Coonard's got to stick with him. Johnny Higgins going to get his timeout.
Yes, it is. They move that ball so fast and so good against those zone trap situations. It just hasn't worked tonight for the Houston Rockets.
You know, whenever you play the Boston Celtics, you relax out there for 5 or 10 seconds. I don't want to tell you, they'll take it to you. Right after Earl Strom brought those players back out on the floor, Dave Cowens set himself up over here on the right baseline, came right down on Coonard, who never saw him coming. The ball went right to him, and he hit it. They are so alert. That's what makes them so devastating in almost any situation. They'll take such advantage of you. I've seen them burn every team in this league, and they're doing it here again.
This is true, and they got players, they keep them together for a while because they know it takes a while for a team to play together. They play together so well. This is one reason I'm sure they have so much success. They got good leaders. Got guys like Havlicek, JoJo White, the redhead Silas. Hey, they play great basketball. In situations like that, when they get down, they come at you. They put Westfall into the ball game, Paul Silas, and they really did a job.
How you take this Houston team, the battle. John Newcomb, $250,000. I didn't know they paid tennis players that kind of money.
Neither did I.
You would have taken up basketball.
I think I could have switched a little bit to tennis for that amount of money.
All right, we got 2:05 for the game. There's the second quarter score. Al Addle's Golden State Warriors still going to it. That series tied, 2 games apiece. Calvin Murphy brings it up. Trailing by 12, and here's Newland off the play. Collins on a block. Tomjanovich.
Tommy got it in.
And they got enough time. That's the question. It's 150. It's a 10-point Boston lead. Need pressure defense here. Need the ball back. Havlicek.
Yes, they do.
Nelson. Goes to Collins. Pushed away by Kunert. Here's Havlicek. Down goes Kunert. And he was blocking Collins.
Oh.
Kunert. He's out of the game. Oh, hold on.
No, the foul's on Newland.
That was Newland. I thought it was Kunert who went down. That's only 5. Hold on. They worked off the switch.
We can see that play again.
There's a switch right there.
You know, that play the last ball game, he was involved in the play that got Calvin's out of the ball game for a 6th foul.
It was Newland who ran down to the baseline.
Yes,
right?
it was. But it didn't work this time because the foul was on Newland. And Dave hits the first one, he'll get another one. He gets them both.
Newland is trying to convince Murphy that the Celtics are calling this timeout. Donnie Egan yelling along the sideline. Dave Collins has scored 29 for the ball game.
Yeah. See, although John Egan is very upset about that call, and the referees are doing a wise thing. They're walking away from all the conversation. I'm sure they know it's very difficult situations like this in the playoffs. His team is down right now, and he is very upset.
Well, the Houston Rockets with their backs to that wall right now. They'll go back to the Boston Garden, it looks like, trailing 3 victories to 1. The Celtics opened up this playoff with 2 impressive victories up in Boston. And they came back down here to the Hop Heights Pavilion on Saturday afternoon. Houston blew the Celtics out. Dave Collins fouled out of that game. And let's see if we can pick up a little Egan at Siegfried.
Got that whole area. Give it back. 3-point play. First, now defensively, this is what I want to do right here. Now, Calvin, you'll be here. Eddie's over here. Mike, you're here.
There's a watch Newland go in. Good defense by the Redhead. Good defense. Here comes Rudy T. Tipped it right in.
Mike Collins has hit 8 straight from the field, though.
How can you stop it? There's no way. He rebounds, he gets back, he hustles back on the defense. He scores a jump shot outside, inside. He makes his team go on a break. 28 points, 24 rebounds. Number 18.
Coming back, he said he would tonight after fouling out on Saturday and scoring only 9. Well, it's a 12-point margin. They want Rudy Tomjanovich at the perimeter as Newland goes in. Two-shot foul.
Is that on Silas?
Silas is 5th.
Well, talking to him about that one foul there.
They haven't agreed with the officials much here in the last 12 minutes.
Well, it's tough, you know. They said a lot of players are acting a lot of the blocking situations. Houston has to go to the basket. They're really trying to get in as much as close as possible, I should say. Try to create a 3-point situation. Tough call.
10-point Boston lead. 1:20 for the game. They try to trap the ball. Havlicek goes over to White. White gets inside. A Murphy air ball.
Yeah, oh.
Intercepted JoJo White. Back to Silas. Up there. Offense. That's it.
Yep.
Paul Silas is fouled out. A minute 12 to go and a 10-point Boston lead.
Hey, he has played a great basketball game underneath. Underneath where you don't get a lot of publicity about your play, but he's tough under there.
He had 12 points before Lee Murphy.
Oh, that little guy. It's an 8-point game now.
Down to the final minute of play. Need a turnover right here. Houston needs the ball. Collins has got it. Goes to Havlicek. Watch the defending champions run the clock down and get an open man before it's over. Knocked away by Ratliff and fouled it.
See how they pass the ball so well in tight. In a situation like that, Houston's, as I said, they're pressing. They're trying to trap. They're trying to zone. Smart play by the Celtics. And we're going back to the Boston Garden with a 3-1 lead.
Different story for Big Redhead and the Celtics here in this game than on Saturday. He's poured in 30 points now against Houston. Nolan goes to Calvin Murphy. Little Calvin, look at him hustle.
Yes, he does. They only have 35 seconds to go, down 10 points. They got to do anything they can to get the ball back. But I think it's all over for them right now. Celtics are going back to Boston, leading 3-1. And they are very, very tough up there. You know, this game have been some great individual performances tonight, Brent.
I sure have been. You talk about Calvin Murphy. He's out there talking to the trainer, injured his foot a little bit, 20-second injury time out. He's scored 33 points, and he's a delight to watch every time he goes out in the court. I always enjoy watching him, particularly when a lot of people said he'll never play in the NBA. You know, he was a second-round draft choice by the Houston Rockets. He didn't even go in the first round, but he plays like a first-round choice.
Yes, he does.
I think he's changed the opinion of a lot of scouts around the country. I'll take a good little man now.
This is true. I think a lot of scouts around the country going for a lot of the big guys because they turn franchises around, but I think you got to get the best basketball player available.
There's a game clock as Newland cans another one. That's another guy who's turned in a fine game for Johnny Egan. I like the way he plays.
Yes, so do I.
Here's Collins. Up to Nelson. This ball picked up by Calvin Murphy. 18 seconds, and he's got it, and it's 35 points for Murphy.
Well, I think the time's going to run out on him, though, Brent. Just not enough time left in this ball game. The Celtics are just too tough.
Well, they try to look at the Celtics work against that trap. Always somebody in a green jersey wide open, but this time bad pass, and out comes Rudy T.
Only got 3 seconds.
It's all over. Yeah. So the Boston Celtics have done it, winning the third, or I should say the fourth game of this Eastern Conference semifinal. Havlicek covering up his head because some more debris was coming down on the floor here at the conclusion of this game. The final score as Zayd Abdulaziz goes into the locker room is 122 to 117. What was that, Tom Janovich shooting a free throw down there after it was over?
Yes, he hit one and missed one.
All right, final score, and the Boston Celtics lead it 3 victories to 1. And this is Brent Musburger for Oscar Robertson and Sonny Hill saying goodbye from the Huff Heights Pavilion in Houston. With that final score again is Boston 122, Houston 117.
Take your very best shot and may the best team win. The time is now. The name of the game is action.
NBA playoffs, sponsored by Ford and your local Ford dealer. The closer you look, the better we look. And by Holiday Inn, the most accommodating people in the world. NBA playoffs is a presentation of CBS Sports. A political campaign with racial overtones leads to murder and the appearance of Dan August. See Burt Reynolds as a dynamic detective, Dan August, tomorrow at 10, 9 Central on CBS.
Schmitz presents Fred Rhines, who fights Whitewater like no other man and makes it look easy. And after Fred makes it look easy, he looks forward to a mug of smooth, refreshing Schmitz, the beer that goes down easy.
You tell the world you know what you're doing. Every time you reach for Schmitz.
The Easy Beer.